It seems like update 5 has a little more content than what you thought. The Thriller Bark dungeon is coming, and I don't know when it is coming, but it is coming hopefully soon. And this has been in the works ever since the update 5 has been in the works, right? If you don't believe me, just look at his messages made by Benir himself. He's been saying that the Thriller Bark dungeon, not just island but dungeon, has been in the works. A lot of sneak peeks, if you remember, have been sneak peeks in the past that still haven't came to the game. Meaning, update 5 still has some content left that they haven't touched yet. You know, there's so many images of, you know, places, locations that they still haven't added, which is weird, but maybe they were trying to hurry it up and add it like partial of the update. Maybe the most important things, I believe. Regardless, the Thriller Bark dungeon is coming and you should be expecting it. Hopefully it is similar to the Cupids. Now, if you are not aware, the one who made and started the idea of the Cupids dungeon was actually Benir, the modeler, the 3D modeler. And now he's making the Thriller Bark dungeon. Hopefully it follows the same structure that Cupid's dungeon was, because Cupid's dungeon was a very good dungeon. It was a lot quicker and a lot more fun than the regular dungeons we've had. And these regular dungeons are actually pretty annoying, I would say. Like, I can do Cupid's dungeons, but I cannot do these regular dungeons. Not only because Cupid's dungeons are, you know, take less time, but also because the regular dungeons are basically the same thing over and over again. At least in, you know, the regular dungeons are the same thing over and over again, while the Cupid's dungeon is pretty different. The bosses are different. You have to fight a mirror user, then you have to go to, you know, the main boss, which has, you know, 2 stages, which is very interesting. Also, there's another element to this Thriller Bark dungeon that I still haven't talked about. The important element of this Thriller Bark dungeon would be that actually their NPCs will be dropping miscellaneous items, and these miscellaneous items will be used to add onto your ship. And he said that he will be adding that to the newest dungeon, according to this message right here. And so because of this, I believe with the Thriller Bark dungeon we'll be able to customize our ships. Now, of course, you can retract this and say, you know, maybe they're just dropping, you know, random items, like maybe cosmetics, right? Like the Cupid's dungeon was dropping the armors, you know, the weapons and stuff like that. And hopefully it is the ships, because we need ship customization very badly in GPO, because all the ships look the same, especially for marines. Why do marines and pirates have the same type of ships? It makes zero sense. At least you can make a default ship for all the marines, you know, marine players, that just spawn a blue ship, literally just color the pirate ship blue and it'll be okay. But no. Now, as for the most important thing, is these dungeons, compared to the Cupid's dungeon, the NPCs will now have like you know, pattern of movement. Now they will have like attack patterns and stuff like that, which will make the fight against these NPCs considerably more difficult than Cupid. So don't think it's an easy, you know, quick, you know, cheesable, you know, dungeon which we could have had before. This dungeon might be a lot more difficult than both of the older dungeons, except maybe it'll be quicker than the regular one, but it will be a lot more difficult. As a whole, when I believe this Thriller Bark dungeon to be dropping, hopefully in the next, like, you know, version of the update, like in the couple of updates in future. Maybe he just has to patch a couple of things up with the Thriller Bark dungeon, since he has said multiple times he will be adding that. So it'd be weird for him to just back out of what he said and be like, no, it's not happening at all. Or to, you know, he has multiple you know, moments said that he was going to add this. So now to wrap things up, what do you think of the Thriller Bark dungeon? Do you think he will actually create this dungeon, or do you think he was bluffing? You know, sometimes they promise stuff that they never deliver. I mean, the cyborg race still hasn't came, and he promised that. The bleach clothing hasn't came, and he promised that. So are these just empty promises to hype us up, or do you believe this to be an actual thing? Since we are missing 3 different, you know, futures, like the bleach clothing, the hairs, the cyborg race, we are missing, you know, the bleach clothing, and now the Thriller Bark dungeon. So he has a lot on his tab that he hasn't yet released or put into the game update yet, and the developers hopefully, you know, come through and keep their promises. Other than that, there's not really much to be said. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and check out the video I made yesterday.